It is high school basketball here on the OH Report on a Tuesday night. Fredericktown and Cardington in a KMAC battle here at Cardington High School in Cardington, Ohio. Coming up next here live on the OH Report.
He takes the Tostitos, fakes left, goes right, and dives into the salsa. Now that is how you bring home the snacks.
What is he doing?
Preparing for his next career as a commentator.
Isn't he a little young for that?
All the best players get broadcast deals these days.
Bill's Mafia is going absolutely crazy down here. Isn't that right, Billy? So true, so true. Back to you, Josh. Back to you. Now let's go down onto the field for the coin toss. Doesn't get much better than this.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Back now at Cardington High School with our Ohiomeansjobs of Morrow County pregame show. Hayden Gray and Brandon Wells with you here tonight, where we have an exciting KMAC matchup between Cardington and Fredericktown. Absolutely excited to be here with you, Brandon, and our first time getting to work together.
Hey, happy to be here. This is fun. My first kind of go around with the KMAC, and we talked about kind of what a rough and tumble conference this is. Looking forward to seeing some good basketball. Fredericktown, of course, trying to stay atop the conference tonight in a rematch of a Freddies win that back in early December. The Freddies coming off that win on Friday night against Centerburg to stay atop the KMAC undefeated. Pretty good squad there. Of course, Fredericktown, or Centerburg rather, playing at Northmore tonight as well.
Absolutely. So let's start things off with talking about those Freddies of Fredericktown. Take a look at our team spotlight for them here this evening. As you mentioned, they obviously do lead the KMAC after getting that victory over Centerburg. Another team that they took down this year that would statistically be their best one would probably be Lucas, who sits at 8-2 and undefeated in their conference. And then they did suffer that big loss, nearly 30 points to Kip Columbus, but they're no slouch as well, right. All those Columbus schools. Last game was that 9-point win over the Trojans, and they currently do sit at first in the league.
Yeah, Fredericktown, they're undefeated in the conference, but they are, they have lost 2 of their last 3, but that big win, of course, against Centerburg. Yeah, the win against Lucas was a big one. If you've ever been down to Lucas, obviously, or here, Lucas is just such a tough team. Coach Eisman, really an excellent basketball coach, has his guys always ready to play, and always draws up something interesting. So, he scouts well. I think he reads tape well, and I'm curious to see tonight how Fredericktown and Cardington square off in a rematch. Second time through the conference now for Fredericktown, and it's always a little bit different the second time through.
It absolutely is. So a guy who's going to have to be consistent for the Freddies tonight, just like he was in their first matchup, would be the senior Kaid Carpenter. You can't say enough about the kid. He's got the body type to be a great basketball player, but then he's really been applying his skill this year. 4 different categories that he ranks in top 10 in the conference, and he can offer you a lot of things.
Yeah, 3-sport athlete, right? I mean, it's the kind of guys you love because he plays football, he plays basketball, plays baseball. So you know going out there, number one, he's a competitor, and he's going to battle up and down the court regardless of what the score is. So for the Freddies, it kind of all goes through him, right? He pounds it, on the boards as well, and he can pass the ball. So for a 6'6" guy, averaging 3 assists per game, as a former head coach myself, I love to see that. A big guy that can actually pass the ball, because as a guy who is a point guard, Hayden, I always was so afraid to throw the ball in there because I knew it was never coming back out from the big guys.
That's right. So Kaid going to be leading his team tonight against the Cardington Pirates, who we will now take a chance to spotlight what they've been up to so far with their non-conference and conference season, led by head coach, first-year head coach Jason Rice. They're 4-9, 1-4 in the conference in the KMAC. Their best win would come against Danville, the Blue Devils, and their worst loss against Elgin, 62-39 back in December. They just recently played on Friday against Mount Gilead, a game that I was at where they lost by 15 points, and they're looking to snap a 6-game losing streak tonight. Yeah, that's tough, and they're at home, so they got that going for them. And Coach Rice with a tough assignment this year, right? I mean, he's the 4th coach in 4 years. I was doing a little digging, right, and I was saying, 4th coach in 4 years, so these guys have had 4 different systems, 4 different leaders, 4 different voices. That's hard on young men, right? That's hard on anybody. Think about just if people are at home thinking about being in an office and having a different boss for 4 straight years. So these young guys have been very versatile, or they've been resilient, I should say. And they're going to look to be resilient here tonight. Last year they were 3-20, so they've already surpassed last year's win total. Coach Rice has them going in the right direction, it seems like. And for them, I think it starts with Merek McClure. Yeah, and exactly. McClure, one of those guys that has seen several different coaches throughout his 3 years here as a Pirate, and looking to, maybe try and find some stability this year with Coach Rice. He's a returning letter winner, and he goes out and he gets you 8 rebounds a night. That's good enough for 4th in the league. And no, it's not even a full block, but half a block is still best. 8th in the KMAC, that's what it gets you. So they're going to need to lean heavily on him, because they got to have someone to battle that size that Carpenter brings for the Freddies. Yeah, not a big scorer, McClure, but he averages 5 points, around 5 points per game. And A.J. Hall will bring it from, he's about 10 points per game. And Journey Williamson, who generally comes off the bench, can give them 10 to 11 points and a handful of rebounds as well. They have a little bit of depth. Both these teams, for the size of the school, have some size. So I'm curious how they're going to square off inside. We watched some of the JV game, of course, and you see a little bit of the stuff that goes on that kind of translates to the varsity level. But this is going to be a tough matchup tonight, I think, for both teams. It's going to be. So let's find out exactly, what we think needs to take place tonight for both teams to get the job done. For Fredericktown, things that tie into what we've been saying. Number one, they're going for the season sweep. They'd like to get their 2nd win and control Cardington this year in the KMAC, but also controlling the rebounds when they're able to do that. Cardington's a scrappy team that against Mount Gilead fought for a lot of offensive rebounds. So as their opponent tonight, Fredericktown would really like to lock down the glass and have full control on that. Yeah, you can sweep them, and then you head into the second half of the KMAC schedule undefeated. You're in good shape if you can come out with a win tonight here on a Tuesday. And then on the other side, the keys for Cardington tonight, who looking to defend home court and try, and right some wrongs, split the season series at 1-1. They need to control their pace. They're a very fast team with a lot of speed. I know Coach Rice emphasized how much speed they have on the court this year, but that also kind of ties with value on every shot that you want to do. And we'll take a brief pause now to honor our country for the playing of the national anthem.
Stripes and
Fantastic job by that young lady out there, one of the cheerleaders here for Cardington. That's
Absolutely.
a hard song. Have you ever tried to sing the national anthem?
You know, maybe in my mirror, but definitely not in front of a crowd full of people. So that was phenomenal.
Well, I consider myself a singer, and I'm not going to try that one. I'll just say it that way.
Absolutely not.
Oh, this is going to be a good one here tonight, Hayden. Fredericktown and Cardington. Happy to be joined by our lovely crew here at Fredericktown and the KMAC boys basketball Tuesday night, what we hope will be an instant classic. We were talking about that phrase beforehand, but let's take a look at the starters first for the Fredericktown Freddies as they are invading Cardington.
First tonight, it'll be Tegan Rule, Kaid Carpenter, Ben Mass, Brady Lester, and Trevor Bellman rounding out the starters for the Freddies.
And you mentioned it, sorry, Hayden, that it all goes through Kaid Carpenter. That's their key, the main man there that they look to score and get them rolling on offense. And we'll take a look at Cardington's starting lineup as well. Here, the home team, the Pirates coming in 5 I think we have them at 4-9 and 2-3. It's always hard to find. Let's just say it this way, folks. It's hard to find high school stats out there sometimes, but we do know they're 2-3 in the conference, and Fredericktown is 6-0.
Yeah, they'll be led tonight by Kaylin Briggs, A.J. Hall, Gavin Crockett, Merek McClure, and rounded off by the senior A.J. Brem. And again, your pregame show brought to you tonight by Ohiomeansjobs of Morrow County.
Yeah, Kaylin Briggs can put some points up, and these guys like to really pressure the ball. You mentioned it here a little bit ago. They love to go full court man to man when they can. Only one senior on this squad, so Cardington a young group. And how does that translate out here at home in a rematch?
It's always tough when you have a lot of youth, and especially what we notated with the coaching changes. I think you lean heavily on the guy that is there at your head coach, but also your teammates too. That's been probably, now we don't know all the roster changes that might have taken place over those years as well, but those are the guys that you have at least been able to count on and go through this with. So trying to channel that and having that lead to success on the court.
Fredericktown atop the KMAC at 6-0. Centerburg 5-1 right behind them. Northmore 4-2, and then you've got Mount Gilead at 3-3, and then Cardington 2-3, Danville 1-4, and then East Knox having a tough stretch this year, 0-5 so far in the KMAC.
Yeah, it's been a rough year for East Knox. On the girls' side, having some success, but the boys' side, some of the graduation that they had last year has been a big loss. They definitely miss guys that they used to have like Shane Knapp and Mielik, but hopefully some rebuilding will be coming their way. But Cardington kind of going through some of that same experience.
We're about to get underway here. And there we go. Basketball time on a Tuesday night on the OH Report. Fredericktown wins the tip in the red. Looking to get it inside, not surprising to Carpenter. 3-ball fired up and in. There's a good start. Trevor Bellman bombs the 3 for the Freddies. And a nice start for the team in red.
Always nice to get one of those open corner looks to kick off your night.
Going the other way, had an open 3-ball from A.J. Hall, but he couldn't convert. Boy, these teams both trying to get it up and down quick.
Yeah, a little bit too much speed that time on the layup.
They're going to draw a foul going to the basket. I think they did end up putting Williamson in the starting lineup here tonight. Journey Williamson going to the line. You saw him attack. I think he got away with the travel, though, too.
Yeah, Ben Mast, it looked like there was a little bit of contact there. It's the first free throws missed, but did look like he kind of took a few extra steps there right before the layup. But, quick game, refs settling into it as well.
Splits the pair, and it's 3-1. Some full court man-to-man pressure we kind of expected. Into the front court comes Fredericktown. Nice take to the basket, but just couldn't finish.
Like the move from Rule, but as you said, he just couldn't really lay it up soft enough.
These teams not wasting any time once they get past half court, firing up shots so far. Tough shot by Carpenter. But he finishes it by putting the garbage back up and in.
Nice job getting his own offensive board there, too. Sticking with it, persistence.
Well, he looks like a man amongst boys out there, doesn't he?
Absolutely, he does. Just looks, as we said, kind of like one of those guys that is a football player and then just finds out really good at a lot of other things. I think actually baseball his top sport.
3 ball up and in. Gavin Crockett. First basket of the ball game for the Pirates. And a steal. Here comes Williamson. Up and in. Carpenter tried to get to that one. A little late. And 6-5.
Kaid was really close to that one, but Cardington doing a nice job playing their pace right now. You can tell they're comfortable with the fast tempo of the action just a couple minutes into the game.
Rule with a nice take to the basket, but a really nice pass by Bellman to get him open. Fredericktown, Cardington. And a tight start here. And a good steal for the Freddies. Off and running. Bellman. Tough shot. The Freddies right there underneath to grab it. And they can't finish either. Brady Lester couldn't quite finish underneath. Oh, and Carpenter says, get that out of here.
Yeah, let's take one more look at that one. Carpenter making up, didn't get the block last time, but made sure that he got that one.
It's a nice move by Crockett to get himself to the basket, but that backside help was right there. Carpenter can erase some mistakes, can't he?
He can. Whatever they're not going to be able to accomplish every time down the floor on offense, they're looking to make up for on defense.
And away from the ball on the pass. Looked like Brady Lester ran right through a Cardington screen. And Lester going to pick up the foul. He's averaging 13 points per game. That's his first. Couple minutes gone by here in the first quarter. And a whistle and a travel. Now that's the right call there as A.J. Brim got himself in trouble.
Yeah, kind of got tied up along that baseline there.
Here comes big Merek McClure. Didn't start tonight. Williamson got the start, and now McClure, the 6'4 junior, in there. Try to match up with Kaid Carpenter, I think.
Yeah, I think they realize they're going to have to bring him off the bench a little earlier than maybe they even planned if they want to try and put a body on Carpenter.
Nice pass underneath to Rule, who goes up and scores. That's his second basket of the night. 9-6 Freddies. And Rule gets tripped up by Carpenter. So Carpenter and Lester each with an early foul here in the first quarter, something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, that's something with these teams that don't have necessarily a ton of depth or really deep benches. Cardington has a bit bigger than Fredericktown, but you want to watch foul trouble early.
Well, speaking of the devil, there's going to be one on Bellman right there. I'm going to call that out of bounds. It was a nice take to the bat, or at least pump fake underneath. Up top to McClure. Guarded tightly there by Carpenter. And Brem will reset it for the Pirates. McClure trying to come up and set a screen, but kind of getting in the way, actually. Hall, nice little floater there, can't get it to fall, and a foul going to be on McClure underneath on the push, I believe.
Yeah, he was going to box, trying to corral the rebound.
They're going to give it to A.J. Hall. Take a look at that, but you saw it, and they're giving it to Hall.
Take one more look at it.
I guess flip a coin on that one. They both fouled him. 9-6. Freddy's off to an early lead. Carpenter working against McClure. Goes right around him, up with the left. Wow. Can't get it to fall. And then he fouls McClure, and McClure just about took a little rip there. And
you see Coach Rice pointing to the head like, let's try and keep just 4 minutes into the ball game.
Yeah, well, these teams are no strangers to each other. You talked about it. And here it is. You watch McClure with a little swipe. If they had replay down there, he might be getting himself in trouble on that one. Yeah, that's 2 on Carpenter, though.
There are definitely some of those specifically named rivalries in the KMAC. You know, when Fredericktown and Centerburg play, they call it Freddyburg. When East Knox and Danville play, they call it the Devil Dog game. But I think almost every KMAC opponent, especially once you get on the second go-around at playing them, I don't think there's any love lost between any schools here around the area.
Well, it seems like there's just such similarities between the schools and the kids and the families. A nice steal there by Bellman, who gets himself the basketball, and a nice job by the coaching staff. Derek Dibbling calls timeout. Dibbling in his 7th year here as the head coach at Fredericktown. 9-6 early on. What are you seeing so far?
Well, definitely the type of brand of basketball that commonly gets played in these conference games is being played. I think the tempo is very fast right now, especially those first couple minutes we saw both teams very anxious to get down the floor. But definitely probably the most notable headline for us so far is just having to watch Carpenter with 2 fouls. Just what he's been able to do here in the first quarter. You saw there even on that take that resulted in the foul. Not too many answers for him, so that's going to be a key piece that they're going to want to make sure they can get back out on the floor at the appropriate time.
Xavier Mullins in there, the 6'3 senior now, replaces Carpenter. Trying to keep some size in there. And trying to post him up inside on McClure. They get it to him, and a nice job on the defensive side by Brem to knock it away. And here comes Cardington. I don't think either team has taken a 3 yet.
No, which surprises me a little bit, the play style of Cardington, they definitely are not hesitant to shoot from behind the arc.
Well, anymore, it seems like everything's 3s and layups now. Statistically, those are the best shots to take. And, of course, we get an elbow jumper as I say that. And McClure, I think, going to get called for going over the back there. Good box out underneath by Mullins.
Yeah, I don't think he's happy about the call, but that might be one of the keys to the game for both teams tonight is keeping your emotions in check, too. You know, it's every officiating staff's different about what they're going to allow throughout the course of a night, so.
How about this, Hayden? 5 fouls so far called total on Fredericktown. And just 2 so far on Cardington. That doesn't necessarily mean there's any kind of advantage going on from an officiating standpoint. It just means that Fredericktown's a little more physical.
Yeah.
Trying to work the ball inside to Mullins, and they do, going right at McClure. Oh, great pump fake and step through, and they're going to get the foul on McClure, and that's 2 on him. Real patient move underneath.
So Fredericktown tried to say, all right, well, our guys got 2 now, so now we're going to try and take your big man out as well.
They're going to go small and bring in Gavin Crockett back in.
First free throws of the night for Fredericktown. Not too grand of a free throw shooting team.
No, not great. 55% as a team, and Mullins just 6 of 16 so far this season, but steps right up and drains that one. Looks like no option whatsoever on that one. Yeah, drained it.
The opposite of the announcer jinx.
I like it, the reverse kibosh. Yeah. Oh, that's going to be a lane violation. Nope, doesn't matter. He makes them both. Look good doing it, too. So Mullins steps up and drains a pair. A little more than halfway through the first quarter here on the OH Report. Fredericktown up 5. There's a 3 ball fired up in the air. No good by Crockett. But how important is offensive rebounding?
It's huge. I think in high school basketball especially, just giving the guys another chance to get points out of a possession. If you can combo offensive rebounding with the 3-point shooting right there, which they don't convert on.
Yeah, he had a good look out there. Williamson just can't get it to fall. Both teams have kind of gone cold. Strong take to the basket by Tegan Rule, but can't get it to fall. Bellman will fire a 3 in and out. We talked about it, extra opportunities, but neither team able to convert. Williamson on the move. And he pulls it back out. Now he attacks and pulls it back out again. 5-point lead here for the Freddies early on the road. Trying to stay perfect in the KMAC. Open 3 from the corner. He got it! Gavin Crockett drains it and cuts it to 2.
Like the confidence right in the corner in front of the opposition's bench as well.
Luke Bean tried to fire one up. He had 6 threes the other night against Centerburg off the bench.
Yeah, Bean is one of those guys that's a really great role player for them off the bench. Another talented baseball player for the Freddies.
Oh, heck of a move by A.J. Brem there. The honorable mention, all KMAC guard with a nice pull-up jumper. Pretty good crowd here for a Tuesday night.
Yeah, you can see it on screen right now. The Pirates, usually their team gets pretty fired up as well.
Rule with a nice take to the basket. Open three from the corner. And doesn't matter because we're going to get a foul on the drive to the basket.
Just another KMAC tie as well. Another team theoretically represented is Northmore, one of the assistant coaches for Cardington, Travis Perry, used to be under Blade Tackett's staff over at Northmore, so someone who knows a lot about the KMAC, so I'm sure that's been a nice combo for Coach Rice.
You're only as good as your staff when you're a head coach, and valuable guys to have on your bench. Second foul on Mast, so 6 fouls on the Freddies and 3 on Cardington so far here in the first quarter. Under a minute to go in the first. Oh, he thought about firing it. Crockett thought about it. Williamson's just going to fire it. No dice. And a little back tap, but Fredericktown comes up with it. I'll get it right eventually. Into Mullins. And Mullins, bull in a china shop, takes it to the hoop.
I don't know if there's been too many layups tonight that didn't involve, someone brushing shoulders or a knock on the old chin.
It's kind of like I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. It's like I went to a football game and a basketball game broke out or something like that here tonight. Physical matchup. Left side, open three. Crockett again, no good. And whistle. And a good box out underneath. And I think that's going to be on Cardington's A.J. Brem.
Yeah, they're both going after that rebound. Physical down below. A lot of attention's been where the shot's been taking place, but the battle down in the paint tonight has been fierce.
Big possession here coming up as Fredericktown. Man, Fredericktown.
Hey, it's all right. I mean, like I told you before I started working for the OH Report, some of these cities were a mystery to me.
I know where it is. I know how to say it. I'm just going to say the Freddies.
Yeah.
How's that?
They love it.
All right. Surprised people aren't blowing up the comments yet saying, say it right, dummy. 5 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 4-point lead for the Freddies. Officials hearing it from the Cardington home faithful.
11 total fouls combined between both teams in the first quarter.
Going to be a long second quarter, I think. Inbounds and a bad one. Stolen, 3 seconds to go. Open shot in the corner to end the quarter. In and out. Oh, he had a good look. Sam Wilson can't get it to fall. 15-11. Freddies on top after 1.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Start of the second quarter here on the OH Report. Brought to you by Ohio Means Jobs, Morrow County. Freddies up 4 on Cardington. Here in a KMAC battle. Left side open 3. Too strong. And the Freddies come up with another rebound. They're off and running. Great pass and a dish on the backside to Mullins. Big man running the floor.
Yeah, that was great hustle to get down and good body control there too to finish off the layup.
A little out of control, and that's the right call there, travel. That wasn't, I'm sorry, it was A.J. Brem driving to the basket. Just a little out of control on that one.
Yeah, I think could have been some feet getting tied up there too. Comboed it up.
Dangerous spot here for the Freddies, or for the Pirates, I should say. And just like that, it's a 9-point deficit. And coach wants a timeout. He calls a timeout. He didn't like what he saw coming out of the quarter, did he?
No, and I don't think I'd like Luke Bean getting to the corner this quickly either. I'm sure they've seen the tape of what happened at Centerburg the other night. So good call, good choice for the timeout right away. Try and not let Luke Bean get too hot too quickly.
Well, and a 9-point lead just like that, and coach says, hey, we got to stop this right away because against a good team that actually is got Carpenter on the bench with 2 fouls, but Fredericktown can really shoot it.
Yeah,
so
they're going to try and show, even with Kaid on the bench, what they're able to do just by inserting Luke Bean. A couple other guys that might not get as many minutes, but a good opportunity for them to know what it's like to play without him out on the floor. That's only going to help them as they continue on this season.
That's 2 drum sets at the same time. Not to be confused with 2 dragons at the same time. If you get that movie reference, you're an old man like me. 20-11, Fredericktown on top. Just underway in the second quarter, and Coach Rice in his first year didn't like what he saw, calls the timeout, and we'll see how the Pirates respond. Pirates already more wins than they had all last season. 4-win season last year, 3-win season last year. And coming off a set play and a nice one to Williamson underneath, who lost control of the basketball. And if you're Coach Rice, boy, that's frustrating because you drew up a play that worked.
Exactly. They had the inside look they were looking for, and fingers were just a little bit too slippery that time, but those are the turnovers that, when you're down 9, you would love to have back.
It's a good roll to the basket and not a bad pass, but just couldn't quite come up with it. And a backcourt violation there. I think that's what we got called right there by our officiating crew. By the way, if you're looking to make some extra money, boy, OHSAA needs officials in a bad way.
They sure do, and, we try to do our best when we're on the air of being as promotional as we can of it, because, yes, you're going to have guys like us try and say you were wrong occasionally, but we know that we have no business telling you that.
That's right. Great block there by Thompson. Inside to Mullins, up and in, and a foul. Boy, he's a load underneath, and he is playing well here so far tonight. He's got 6. He's got 8, rather, I should say, and trying to make it 9 at the line.
And I think that you're seeing an example of what confidence can do for you, too. It just doesn't look like that he has any fear in his matchup out on the court, just the way that as soon as he's catching the ball, he's already thinking about his next couple moves.
Right now, the Freddies have the Pirates doubled up, and a back tap, and a beauty. And here comes the Freddies again, trying to attack. A little hot potato there, and Pirates come up with it. Brem into the corner. Briggs in trouble back up top now to Crockett, but he can't handle it.
You can tell patience is starting to go down a bit. I was going to, really commend a lot of improvement, I think, in patience for Cardington from what I saw on Friday, but sometimes when you start to get in that deficit, then you're trying to push it. It's just quarter number 2, just got into it, take a breather. And remember, you don't have to come up with this 11-point deficit right now.
Bean can't make the 3. Open 3 for Hall. In and out. Brem comes up with it underneath. Fires it back up. Actually, that's Williamson who puts it back up and in.
One bucket at a time. Those offensive rebounds will help you.
Boy, did the Pirates need that basket.
Got to try and reduce this as much as they can, especially with Carpenter down, because you got to think Coach would definitely consider bringing him in to, close out before halftime.
That's going to be an offensive foul. Good call there. Brady Lester ran him over, and he'll pick up his second foul, and he'll head to the bench. Tegan Rule comes back in. Well, if you think about it, you've got 8 seniors right now on the Freddies and just 1 on the Pirates. So when a game starts to get a little bit of distance, it's easy for those young guys to sort of, not, I won't say panic, but it can get away from you a lot quicker when you've got a young team. Williamson attacking. Nice dish outside. 3-ball launched up, no good. And rebound grabbed by Briggs. Another opportunity here for the Pirates to cut into that lead. They just can't buy a basket from outside the key right now. They get another offensive rebound. Williamson up, no good. They just can't buy a board, and that's a frustration foul there by Williamson.
100%. It gets difficult when you just keep pulling it down, and whether you're 12 feet from the hoop or 2 feet, when you don't see them going in, especially in a gym you're very familiar with, your home gym, putting shots up in it can get very mentally taxing, and that also plays into it as well. I liked how you brought up, I mean, you can't, for some of it, you can't fault. When you have a lot of juniors, sophomores, or freshmen out there, you literally can't have all the same experience that a senior may have.
So 22-13, 3 minutes almost gone by here in the second quarter. Rule going to go to the line. 1-1 for both teams here on out with 5:18 to go in the first half. It's an opportunity, though, for if you're Cardington as well, though, because you're going to be going to the line to get some points back on the board with the clock stopped.
Absolutely. That was something that did help keep Cardington in the ball game against Mount Gilead, because the Indians as well couldn't stay out of committing the fouls. So Mount Gilead nearly let them come back into that ball game.
8 for Rule. Balanced attack over there for the Freddies. Open 3. Williamson. And boy, do the Pirates need that one.
Yeah, that was a big shot for them to get up and get here. And slowly but surely, whether it's a combo of the threes or getting some offensive rebounds, finding yourself to the line, those are all ways you're able to walk that deficit down.
And while you're watching the replay, the Freddies turn it over on an errant pass. Not really a whole lot of pressure on it, but they turn it over. A forced pass from the baseline, and so the Pirates will have the basketball on their own end of the court here. Briggs double teamed, and it hits the referee, who was kind of standing out of bounds in a tough spot. Got kicked right at him. Talked with one of the JV officials, Rob Lavengood, about his game out here tonight. Like you said, it's good to have officials out here, and we've got some good ones tonight.
It is, because certainly, like you mentioned, all sports have been hurting, whether it was, it's crept in from fall to winter. Definitely, if you're ever interested, there's plenty of ways to find out how to become an official.
Brem with a tough shot there. 8-point deficit right now for the Pirates. The Freddies trying to stretch it back out. Nice take to the basket. Up and in. Dom Thompson for the Freddies.
Gets it back to a 10-point advantage.
Kaylin Briggs. Nice move to the hoop. Good dish to the corner. And still not able to get rolling on the offensive side as Brem. Nice take by Rule to the basket. Gets his own rebound, up and in. They are really imposing their will underneath on the offensive board so far.
And it was a good example there. I think sometimes Tegan Rule, he's one of those guys, that explosive speed you definitely see as a running back on the turf. Then here on the hardwood, I think sometimes he's just almost even moving too quick for himself, but then he sticks with it, gets the offensive board, puts it back in.
Yeah, you don't want to get in front of a running back out there on the defensive side.
No, not at all.
Particularly without pads on. 12-point lead right now for the Freddies. Biggest deficit of the night for the Pirates. Got to make all those free throws, try to dig your way back into the ball game. Zay Nippert can't get it to fall.
And another foul. Good 50 feet away from the hoop.
That's on Nippert. Missed the free throw, and you see that a lot from young players. You know, a little frustration. You miss a shot that you think you should have made, or you miss a free throw, and then you try to go for a steal. A little too much. That's the stuff you have to live with young players, though.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it's very easy. Those are the things that you try. And each coach has a different way of going at it, too, a philosophy of dealing with this. So that's something that they have been having to deal with as well.
Bellman free throw up and in. Bellman with another one, trying to stretch it out to 14, and he does. Increases that lead to 14. Halfway through the second quarter. 5 points for Bellman here for the Freddies. A 1-3-1 right now for the Freddies.
I see Kaid Carpenter has checked back into the ball game too, so be interesting to see. You know, the zone might benefit him here, especially with those 2 fouls.
Briggs outside, 3-ball. Nippert, no good. Well, they maintain possession. 3.5 minutes to go. Williamson, 3, no good. Opportunities galore, but they just can't convert. Rule pulls down the big rebound. Bellman open in the near side. Double team is there, and inside to Rule, and he forces up a terrible shot, but gets it back, and a whistle. And what do we got? Boy, Rule and Carpenter inside are just so much for Lincoln, for Cardington to handle in there.
They are. They are constantly hopping up and down and putting a body on you. Just that alone, when you're getting leaned into and shoved around like that, that can get very taxing.
Going to the line is Rule. He's already got 10 tonight. I want to see a zoom in on Carpenter's hair at some point tonight. I'm very jealous. Very jealous.
You know, I think we've kind of watched it. I've been trying to track it, kind of, honestly, the last couple of years that I've worked at the OH Report and seen him during different sports seasons. I don't know if I've seen it short, but it's definitely changed a few times throughout broadcast. But, yeah,
ask him what kind of product he's using, and, it's looking good. Looking good, young man. Line left. There it is, up and in. See, I say that, and people are like, why are you talking about this guy's hair? It's because, well, my mother was a beautician for 35, 40 years. That's why. 3-ball from the corner, up and in, and they needed it. A.J. Hall with a big basket for the Pirates to cut it to 13. And Rule with a nice Euro step answers it right back.
And that's just tough to guard. It's very hard to guard speed unless you can match it.
Well, and the length, right, of Rule is just so hard to top. Another 3 by Hall, launched up, too strong. Little heat check there. Bellman, 3, too strong. Getting into a little bit of a track meet here the last minute or so.
Yeah, you're going to be able to see what team's conditioning really comes out here as that shot's short. Battle for it again. Mast comes down with the rebound.
15-point lead for the Freddies, still attacking. Oh, what a pass, what a move, but he can't finish. Oh, great move. But Bean can't finish it on the left side. Williamson finds the open man. Briggs drives to the hoop. Nice little pump fake, step through. No good, but a foul. Well, you know, Cardington's getting some good looks. They just can't get anything to fall.
No, and it's been whether it's been short to medium range or from the three-point line. They haven't really been able to string shots together. And back down on the other end, I was really rooting for Bean to get that one to go. What a crafty move that would have been. Still a crafty move.
Yep. Now Williamson can't get it to fall. He's leading the way right now for Cardington with 8.
Pirates just 1 of 4 from the line tonight, so 25%.
Warren Garrison and Sam Wilson check back in for Cardington. With 2:09 to go here in the first half. Full court pressure. They've caused a couple turnovers so far from the Freddies in that full court pressure. Bellman drives to the basket, lost control of it. An opportunity to cut into this lead. Here comes Cardington. Williamson had an open three, but decided to hold off. He's missed his last few, maybe a little gun shy out there. Briggs, open three, wide left. Good hustle there, but no avail. Sam Wilson with a nice save. Bellman lost control of a nice steal by Briggs. And here comes the Pirates. Williamson tries to bully his way to the basket, but can't get it. And a whistle and a timeout.
Both teams honestly kind of trying to get ahead of themselves sometimes. More often than not, when someone grabs that rebound, they're already looking ahead. And more often than not, they've got someone at midcourt already, but I think that's starting to cost both teams a little bit. So much needed timeout for both sides.
34-20, Fredericktown on top. Here with just under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. And the Freddies kind of in control right now. It seems like, the last minute or so a little hectic up and down, but Freddies kind of in control of this one so far, but a lot of basketball still to go.
Yeah, they have one of those, I don't want to call them, it's like a comfortable but uncomfortable lead. You're sitting at 14 points, the exact halfway, well, very close to the exact halfway point of a running clock or being a tie game. So you can't become complacent with the lead that you have. You got to continue to try and play at that same level. But you also get opportunities when you do go up to try some different things. It frees up a little of the pressure of Carpenter getting a third foul. Not that they would like him to, but on the other side, if you're Cardington, don't try and beat the world here in this last minute and 20 seconds.
Full court pressure coming here from the Pirates. Man-to-man matchup. Try to cut into that 14-point lead if they can, get a turnover, but kind of token pressure on that one. They work it inside. Mullins, backside. Rule up and in. And Rule just dominating here so far tonight, 16 points.
And a fantastic, the play of Mullins has been phenomenal. What a great find there to find Teague and cut into the hoop.
A great take to the basket there by Williamson and a good answer, and the Pirates put it back at 14, under a minute to go in the first half. Freddies have done this damage without Kaid Carpenter doing a whole lot. Open three, got it. And that's a dagger. If you're the Pirates, Luke Bean puts it at 17, biggest lead of the ball game. Williamson pump fakes and drives, nice spin move. A tough shot, can't get it to fall. Rule with another rebound. I think you're going to see Fredericktown hold it for one here.
Yeah, I think once it finally gets to about 20 seconds or under, you feel comfortable, unless you have a fantastic shot that you wouldn't want to turn down, but possibly trying to get it in Bean's hands, they won't.
Bellman open three, in and out, back tap by Rule. Rule gets it back. He's going to drive to the basket. Spins it up and in. Teague and Rule dominating here tonight in the first half with 18. 41-22. Fredericktown in control at the half. We'll be back with halftime stats and more after this break on the OH Report.
He takes the Tostitos, fakes left, goes right, and dives into the salsa. Now that is how you bring home the snacks.
What is he doing?
Preparing for his next career as a commentator.
Isn't he a little young for that?
All the best players get broadcast deals these days.
Bill's Mafia is going absolutely crazy down here. Isn't that right, Billy? So true, so true. Back to you, Josh. Back to you. Now let's go down onto the field for the coin toss. Doesn't get much better than this.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Tonight's game right here live and free on the OH Report is brought to you thanks in part to these wonderful sponsors. Ohio Means Jobs of Morrow County. Need a current job list, help with your resume, or practice interviewing? Morrow County Ohio Means Jobs provides many services that can assist you. Stop in or give them a call at 419-946-8480. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community. And Frito Lay, we are driven and inspired by our purpose, food that matters for life's moments. Frito Lay. Thank you to all our sponsors. Be sure to check out their products, goods, and services right here in our area. Give them a thank you if you see them, and let them know you're appreciative of getting to catch the action live and free right here exclusively on the OH Report. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few moments with your halftime stats. Welcome back to Cardington High School, here with your halftime show, brought to you tonight by Ohiomeansjobs of Morrow County. Brandon Wells, Hayden Gray with you. What have you liked that you've seen so far tonight, and kind of a conference that you don't get to see too much out of?
Well, I'm just impressed with the athleticism on both sides, but particularly with Fredericktown. They're a squad that clearly understands their strengths, and their strength is their strength, right? Their guys are tough, and they're attacking the basket. They're getting high percentage shots, so they're getting a lot of good looks that they're converting on. And on the other side, the Pirates have had a lot of decent looks, but they have been contested. So a lot of these shots, the reason that they're struggling, as we show you the stats here, you'll see they've only made 7 field goals, and a lot of that is because Fredericktown's defense inside has been tough. They've kept Cardington. Every time they've got the ball back on an offensive rebound, there's been a guy in their face. But if you look at Rule, he's dominating tonight, right? He's got 18 points tonight. One thing that looks, that stands out here, obviously, Hayden, is 8 of 9 at the stripe, right? The Freddies are 8 of 9, and a good portion of that is Teagan Rule.
Absolutely. They're a team that doesn't necessarily shoot the ball that well from the charity strike, as we talked about, but so far they've been able to find success there tonight, whether it's been Teagan, whether it's been Mullins even knocking down some shots. So I think those things all contribute to what we both kind of said during the break as well, what could honestly be a larger lead.
Well, we get underway here in the second half, and Carpenter back in there. Drives to the basket, lost control of it. And going the other way. Nope, I take that back. It's going to stay with Fredericktown. So 41-22 as we get underway here in the second half on the OH report. Fredericktown with the basketball and a big lead. What kind of adjustments might we see here, Hayden? Might you expect to see potentially from Cardington as Carpenter just bullies his way inside, puts it up and in, and now he's going to the line?
You think that they'll probably, you never want to accept defeat fully as far as a matchup, but I don't know if they really have, especially with the issues that it dealt with early on with McClure too. They probably have realized that they may not have an answer for Kaid Carpenter tonight, so they're going to have to work around that. I think they're going to have to just try and be confident from behind the three-point line and
keep firing.
And keep firing. As you said, down 22, they're going to have to find a way to come back.
Running that 1-4 high look right now. Williamson, nice pump fake and drive to the basket. Gets Carpenter up in the air. Nice move, but he just can't finish. Boy, Williamson has had some great looks, but just hasn't been able to finish. Against a little bigger, a little stronger Kaid Carpenter. Not afraid, though. Williamson's been going right at him.
Yeah, you definitely credit the fight that you've been seeing from Cardington. Still a whole half of basketball to play, so I said never wanting to speak prematurely, but
right.
They knew they were going to have to be facing the top in the KMAC tonight, and they at least wanted to come out here and measure up and see what the gap between them is.
Well, and you look at Williamson, he's a sophomore going against a grown man, right? And so Carpenter is just a little bigger, a little stronger. So Williamson is doing the best job he can, and you see Carpenter there. A nice defense by Williamson right there. Yeah, forces a tough one. Doubled up right now, and Fredericktown needs to get a basket in a bad way. A.J. Hall and company at their Hall. It doesn't look necessarily like anybody wants to shoot the ball yet here on Cardington's squad, but being patient, so the coach in me likes that. Williamson gets fouled by Carpenter, and Carpenter's going to pick up his third. Just 5 points so far for Kaid.
And it was kind of the wrong place, wrong time for Kaid. Yep. Now, not necessary really to initiate some of the content that he did trying to find his way over to the corner, but nonetheless, he'll stay in the ball game.
And Coach Dibbling says, we'll ride with him. We're up 22. If he picks up his fourth, we'll pull him out. We played pretty well without him in there tonight, actually. Oh, nice move by Briggs, but got to finish with a left hand on the left side of the hoop there, young man.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, he made a great move to the basket. And speaking of great moves to the basket, Carpenter slicing and dicing his way to the hoop, puts it up and in. Another nice move by Briggs, but then he lost control of the basketball.
No one can get a grip of it right now.
Williamson, 3. They need it, and they got it. Cardington with an answer. And Williamson's got 14 of the Pirates' 25.
And as we said, that's just what they're going to have to do. They've been able to have some success with that. Those 4 3-pointers in the first half. They're going to need a whole lot more of them here in the second.
Great look inside, and Rule did such a nice job of getting position. He sealed off the defender on his back shoulder, and a great look from Carpenter to get it into him, and it's 48-25. 20 points for Rule.
And another block, second of the night for Carpenter. Take one more look.
Now, not much you can do about that. Brem got himself to the basket, but Carpenter said no, no, no. Briggs, nice take to the basket. Good finish. Kalen Briggs on the board for the first time tonight. Carpenter working against McClure, up and in, and a foul. What a left hand there. Carpenter, take a look at this.
And he just, for a guy of that size and stature, he just moves so softly almost. It's odd. It's, you know, maybe not a common acronym or adjective for it, but he just moves so softly and gently throughout the court.
Yeah, you're right. Graceful is what comes to mind, and fluid, and yeah, he puts it up and in. 3 fouls on McClure in limited action. Tough assignment for that big man. It's more of a traditional big man going against more of an athlete playing in a post position. Open look. They could use it. Williamson off the front of the rim. No good. Bellman pulls it down. Drive to the basket. Great flip on the backside to Rule, up and in. He's got 22. And timeout on the floor. It's a 30-second timeout by Cardington, who sees this one kind of slipping away. Nice dish here by Bellman to Rule, and Rule is dominating here with 22.
Yeah, he's got 22, and they're up by 26, and just starting to absolutely balloon. And just speaking of numbers, totally forgot to mention during halftime, I know score's probably updated now, but another game we have going on tonight, Northmore hosting Centerburg, 2-3 in the KMAC. Centerburg obviously dropped to number 2 after that loss to Fredericktown, but the Golden Knights up 27-14 at half, so holding the Trojans to just 14 first-half points.
Is that a football score? That's
right,
what it sounds like.
It feels like it, yeah. A missed extra point, and there's your halftime score.
Well, I got to tell you, this game here tonight, right now, if you're Cardington, you got to get this game back to around 15 going into the fourth quarter to have a legitimate shot at it, but there's still stuff to work on as you get. There's a lot of basketball left here.
Yeah, still nearly 13 minutes in the game. You just have to try and chip away at it as much as you can.
Now, you're Coach Rice. You're trying to set a new culture, right? You're trying to set the culture. You're trying to build a program here in your first year, fourth coach in 4 years, like we talked about. Wow, Bellman hits the 3, and this lead is 29. But if you're Coach Rice, you're trying to teach your guys to compete even through these kinds of situations when you're kind of getting, your can kicked, right? I mean, that's kind of what's happening right now, and that happens. It's going to happen to good teams.
Oh, exactly. I mean, different field of play, but, this is something I know we talked a little bit about. That's something they need right there.
Atta baby, big fella. Big McClure. Merek McClure drains the 3, and it's 56-30.
His first points of the night, too. I know we mentioned him being quiet, but really hadn't recognized that he hadn't scored yet tonight.
McClure, a junior. Still got another year of developing, and Coach going to bring in some young guys here as Coach Rice try to maybe get a little youthful energy coming in. Braden Lackey comes in, sophomore. Saw him play some minutes in the JV game. Talented interior player. Just drawing on a similar scenario. I know we talked a little bit about our backgrounds each when we met tonight. Obviously, I graduated from Shelby in 2016, down different field of play, but football, we had to go through such a culture change as well. Now, we didn't have
4 different coaches in 4 different years, but we were a team that progressed all the way from 0-10 my freshman year to being, our regional semifinalist. So it takes time, and that's something that hopefully they'll be able to find some stability with Coach Rice. But that's definitely a difficult task that takes pretty strong people to do.
Yeah, and if you're the Cardington community, you got to be patient, right? You got to be patient with a coach in his first year, and got a young team, just one senior here, and trying to institute his program, and it comes from the ground up. As a guy who's been a head coach before myself, you have to really start working with the youth programs to try to get the principles you want to put into your program, and that takes years to fully develop.
We talk about that a lot, that some of the most successful programs around you do. You take a look at their youth and what they have going on, whether it's Clear Fork with soccer. That's just the first example that comes to mind. But Cardington is a basketball-rich area as well, too. They had a ton of success, still are having success on the ladies' side of things with Coach Jamie Edwards, who now coaches at Olentangy. But definitely a culture that's used to winning on the court. So I'm sure the community support of Coach Rice will be huge.
Coach Dibbling going with a younger group out here as well, or some younger guys out here, and some of his bench players, I should say. And a little more than halfway through the third quarter here on the OH Report. Long three, no good. Nippert can't get it to fall, and Fredericktown, and there's a tee on my man Xavier Mullins.
I'm not sure if we're able to.
Oh, he said something to the ref about the call, and the official said, no, young man. You don't talk to me like that.
I truly do believe that's the first technical I've seen or I've been at to witness at a game this year. And, it doesn't take much sometimes. But, I know he was a little bit frustrated about what happened with McClure, but still up 25.
And it was a nice pick and roll out there with McClure, doing a nice job grabbing it. But both free throws by Nippert, up and in, cuts it to 24. Coach pulls Mullins out and says, have a seat.
It's a good coaching moment.
Yeah. Says, I think he just said, you can't do that. Go sit down. Talked a little bit with Coach Dibbling today coming into the building. Oh, boy, Lackey and McClure, a little miscommunication, and here comes Fredericktown all the way to the basket. Justin Woodring, his first points of the night.
Greatly reduced, a combo between both teams, just 7 now, but 7 combined fouls in that first half. We had 18.
Yeah. It was really physical there, and they were trying to keep it tight. And that's kind of a standard philosophy quite often of officials, is keep it tight early, and then you can always loosen it up. But if you start loose, it's hard to tighten it back up. Oh, and a good look there, but Briggs was not looking on the cut. Nice look, actually, there by Warren Garrison. And if Briggs is looking, he's got himself a layup.
Yeah, it was kind of dropping it right in the breadbasket, but just didn't look back for the ball. It'll result in another turnover there, the third of the quarter.
2 minutes and change to go here in the third quarter. Brandon Wells and Hayden Gray bringing you the action on the OH Report. Thanks for watching here tonight. Bellman with the basketball. Trying to get it inside, and they do, to Thompson. Thompson back outside to Bellman. 3-ball up, rattles around, no good. Rebound, Lackey. Looking down court, Briggs looking for McClure. Trying to cut into this 26-point lead.
And I did like the hesitancy from Briggs. He did have McClure, but wasn't looking to, cough the ball over yet again.
Nippert will pull up jumper. Can't get it to fall. Thompson, floater, no good. And Briggs attacking 1-on-4 outside, open McClure for a minute, now to the near side. Lackey trying to get himself open inside, and got to get a better angle to make that pass inside. You're going to see that on tape, and a coach is going to say, that's not a good angle, and you're either going to throw a lob or throw a bounce pass. You kind of got in between.
And that's another excellent point. There's going to be a lot of things here, especially you still got a whole quarter to play after this, so trying to perform your craft because all this is still going to be observed and broken down on film, so try and save yourself a few of those discussions you don't want to have.
The film does not lie. That's correct. Yep, you'll see it. It's so much easier now than it used to be with Huddle. You can just get right on there and check everything out. It's fantastic. Coaches have so many things at their disposal, and so do the players if they take it to their advantage. Open three, no good. Good closeout, actually, by Nippert on that. 5 seconds to go in a third. Nice look to Lackey. Pump fakes, puts it up. Can't get it to fall. McClure's there and has it knocked out of bounds with a second left. Got a chance for a catch and shoot here with 1 second left in the third. Williamson and Brem come back in. Going with the box look. Man-to-man still here for Fredericktown. We saw them go into a 1-3-1 briefly earlier in the ball game. McClure has to launch a three. No good. And it's 58-32. Fredericktown on top and in charge as we head to the fourth. Don't go anywhere on the OH Report.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
.32 as we start the fourth quarter here on the OH Report. Fredericktown in complete command here as we head to the fourth. And Cardington struggling here tonight. Brandon Wells, Hayden Gray. Oh boy. Well, Fredericktown's Luke Bean from long range.
I believe that's his third of the night. I know we mentioned previously that performance where he dropped 6 against Centerburg, so halfway there tonight. No, not sure if we'll see 6, but proving that he's deadly from the three-point line.
Get it inside to Lackey. Nice spin move. Oh, tough one there. A nice job by Thompson, though, to sell it as much as you can, young man.
Yeah, if you have even a little bit of a matchup difference, whether it's in height or weight there, trying to use that to your incentive too, to sell it as much as you can, and he did a good job there.
The key there, if you're watching that on tape and you're Thompson and you're Fredericktown, you're saying, well, you can't let Lackey catch the ball that low. You kind of got lucky. You got the call. It worked out for you, but you actually need to either front the post or push him out of there and be stronger.
You got to do something to make up for the fact that you allowed him to get that positioning.
Oh, nice pass by Nippert underneath to McClure. There it is.
And same thing right there. That time they had their options. 2 Pirates got great positioning down low.
Sophomore Zay Nippert, some good court vision on that one. He looks good in some stretches here tonight. Turnover going the other way. Pull-up jumper. Off the rim, no good. And, man, A.J. Brem's had some good looks tonight. He just hasn't been able to get it rolling and get anything consistently. He's only got 2 points, and normally he's able to make those kinds of shots.
Yeah, he's usually, a fairly consistent scorer for them. They know they can count on him, but we all have those nights. And definitely tough. I feel like you definitely put on a little bit more of a spotlight in basketball if you're having a more difficult night maybe than compared to on a football field or such. I know that we've kind of just comboed those two, but, even maybe on a soccer field or any of the other sports, I feel like you're a little bit more soloed out here in the indoors where it can get quiet, especially at home.
Yeah, there's nowhere to hide, right? There's nowhere to hide. If you're a left guard and you miss a block, sometimes you're not going to get away with it on film, but you're going to get away with it sometimes in a game because, like you said, there's just nowhere to hide out there. There's nowhere to hide in here, but out there you can hide a little more. Soccer, you miss an assignment maybe as a fullback and somebody makes a run by you and you give up a goal. It just looks like it's the goalie's fault.
Oh, trust me, I know all about getting away with holding calls as a former lineman, all that. If you need to know how to get away with those, I'm your guy.
All right, here we go. 61-34. Nippert out top. Williamson thought about it. Pulls up in the middle, kicks it outside. And McClure's going to fire another three. Off the rim, no good. And a rebound, Thompson. He's going to launch it down court. Fredericktown trying to add on, no good. McClure, though, turns it right back over. Uh-oh. Three ball, corner, no good. Bean was going for his fourth. Down court to Williamson. Spin move to the middle, and he's met by two more red jerseys. And that'll put Williamson at the line to shoot two. I've been impressed with Williamson, though. You can tell, even though down 27, he's still attacking. He's not giving up.
Yeah, he's still hustling, and an opportunity now to try and keep Cardington perfect from the line, turning things around, at least from the free throw line. 2 for 2 so far in half number 2. And
there it is.
I jinxed him out of the third. So,
yeah, this is one that, as a coach, your Coach Rice, you're already talking to your assistants saying, all right, what are we saying in the locker room after this ball game? What are some positives we can come up with? What are some things that we can say, hey, here's what we have to work on? And that's hard. It's a hard assignment tonight. Sometimes you go in there and you really don't have a lot to say. You just say, hey, you know what? They handed it to us tonight. We didn't have our best tonight, and it happens.
Absolutely. That's a difficult thing, but so important, especially like at the high school ranks. Those speeches can really do a lot, and it doesn't always have to be super long-winded, but you're right. As a head coach, you got a lot of influence over these guys. So it is good to start already kind of pre-planning in your head, but I know it can't be easy.
Yeah, because you don't want to go in there and bury them. Because if you lose by 25-30 and you go in there and bury them, yeah, you're going to lose them.
Adding insult to injury.
Right. You got to be careful. You got to use those speeches wisely. Yeah, very influenceable. Is that a word? Not influential. I don't mean influenceable.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Yeah, just all in the delivery. You can tell anything you want if you have a confident delivery.
5:12 to go here in the fourth quarter. OH report basketball from the KMAC, and Fredericktown turns it over. These teams met back on December 2nd, and it was a different ball game. 59-50 in a close one. And Centerburg and Northmore playing tonight. And Fredericktown beat Centerburg this past week in a big one. Actually, I should say it was 58-55 was the score the last time these two teams squared off. It was 59-50, the Centerburg score against Fredericktown.
That is correct.
And I know you might have a score update for us at some point from the KMAC. You said it was 27-14 at the half, which is a really low-scoring game for Centerburg. They only put up 14 points in that first half. And Centerburg and Fredericktown will square off again in February 3rd. That'll be at home for Fredericktown. That'll be a big rematch. You got a score update, don't you?
Yeah, there's about 5. And we got a score update here I need to make first.
Nice. Big three by A.J. Hall. Cuts it to 23 with 4.5 to go. 6 for Hall.
Yeah, that game over in North Bloomfield Township. The Knights lead Centerburg 47-33 with 5 minutes left to play.
Still a lot of time there for a 14-point game. That could get tighter. Our man Travis Berardi over on that call, right?
Yes, that is indeed correct. I was going to say unofficially, but I think officially his nickname has been dubbed many different things, but KMAC Trav is commonly what he goes by. These teams, this conference are his bread and butter.
Nice. KMAC Trav. I like it. Travel called there. Officials have done a really good job here tonight. 61-38, 4:01 to go in the fourth quarter.
Will actually be, not me personally, but the OH Report will be right back here tomorrow night. Our only game of the night will be the ladies' edition of Fredericktown at Cardington, and Travis himself will be down here for that one. So,
all right,
you can catch that one on our Facebook page or our main YouTube channel.
Just leaving everything set up here for him. All this expensive equipment, we're just going to leave it all right here, right?
Believe it or not, as someone who's worked with a lot of high school students with my education background, you wouldn't think you could trust them. There have been times where we've been able to do that, but I think I'll make Travis do a little extra work.
That sounds good.
And bring stuff down here himself. We'll also have episode 3 of the Joe Show, our newest basketball show with former Ontario head coach, Hall of Famer Joe Baylaw. So that'll be on at 8 p.m. tomorrow, live and free.
So much institutional knowledge in the game of basketball from Coach Baylaw. Yeah. I haven't had a chance to catch it yet. Planning on it tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
How's Coach calling any games at all this year?
He has. He's actually been very, very active.
Right.
Calling several games, both on the boys and girls side. And definitely one of those where I grew up as a younger student being fearful seeing this guy that just looked so fierce and angry.
Yeah.
As, a Shelby alumni, we played Ontario a lot, so I'd be over there cheering on a team and I'm like, that's a scary dude.
Yeah, I'm not messing with that guy.
And now kind of getting to see that side beyond coaching has been pretty cool.
That's fantastic. Well, anybody who coaches that long definitely still has a big heart for kids and a heart for the game of basketball, there's no doubt. 61-38. And you got to have a heart for these kids and a heart for basketball right now to be watching. It's kind of a tough one right now. It happens.
It does. It absolutely happens. It's just a part of the game.
Grant Hartley gets on the board. Basket. Yeah, this one really started to get away from Cardington in the early part of the second half, and they couldn't make a shot and just went cold. And some of that's Fredericktown's strength and defense.
Absolutely. It's kind of been one of those, they did not let that lead go away, like I said, where they became complacent, but never really able to take it beyond where they've been, just kind of been hovering back and forth.
Jason Bachbrader in there, the junior for the first time. 6'5". Nice opportunity for some of these young men who don't get as many minutes to get in there and play some ball here tonight as well, because these guys, as a former coach myself, they work hard in practice. You need these guys to have a quality program. You want to give them an opportunity. So these aren't lost minutes as a coach. You're just looking at it as an opportunity for these guys to get out there and reward them for how hard they've worked.
Absolutely. I think I brought up in a broadcast earlier this year that I have a huge admiration for not only the guys who may just be on varsity and not get a lot of time but put in a lot of practice, but also the guys that go out, play their JV game, go in, get their varsity uniform on, and then come back out. It's not like football. There's not a day in between. You might have just played 40 minutes in your varsity game and then got to come play some meaningful minutes out here.
You said it, and you are correct. 2 minutes and change to go here in the fourth quarter. Make sure you stay tuned for our post-game show. Come up with our player of the game. I'm sure you've got some ideas.
Yeah,
I've got one idea, I can tell you that.
Yeah, anyone watching, too, if you got some input, drop who you think should be our player of the game tonight. Let us know in the comments.
Maybe the guy who was playing the cowbell earlier.
Yeah, you know, we have enjoyed this unique perspective that we have from the beautiful gymnasium here at Cardington-Lincoln with the pep band right below us. You know, the athletic director did check and make sure it was going to be okay that they were right below us, and we welcomed the opportunity to live it up and experience a different view.
Perfectly fine, a good spot up here. And, of course, Jory with us as well, bringing the camera work and all the family activity up here. It's a family affair.
There's been quite a bit going on behind us that I haven't been able to exactly figure out. I know the wrestling mats are behind us, but I obviously don't want to turn my head and miss any of the action, but we'll be intrigued to see the state of the gym behind us when we're done.
3-ball launched up and in by Will Strebe. His first basket of the night. 67-38 with a minute and a half to go in the fourth. Cardington having a tough ball game here tonight. Nice move and a great take to the basket there. All right, Jackson.
If they can hit both these, looking to hit 40, hovering right around that season average. And this is something, you know, not totally uncharacteristic of the Pirates in terms of offense. Travis, who I call games with quite frequently, you know, talks a lot with their assistant coach, Travis Perry, and he just said during the summer they were an offensive-heavy team that was struggling to defend. Now they have been able to defend a little bit more successful. I know it doesn't look super apparent tonight, but they've been struggling to score. Things have been flip-flopped, and it's kind of been a difficult adjustment to find.
Woodring takes it to the basket and draws the foul for the Freddies. They're going to move to 7-0 in the conference. That's a heck of a start and an opportunity for them to really get a little, maybe a full game more, because it looks like Centerburg's going to fall.
Yeah, down 19 to Northmore with under 15 seconds left to play. Northmore just got a steal. Doesn't look like the Trojans are going to foul either. Northmore did pack on one more, so it looks like a 21-point victory for the Golden Knights. So, like you mentioned, an opportunity for Fredericktown to take a 2-game lead in KMAC play.
Man, Centerburg must just not have been able to put the ball in the basket tonight to only put up 34 points. Under a minute to go here at Cardington. Tacking on another one. 70-39. Woodring's got 5. Big Bachbader can't get it to go.
They're still out and running. Now they'll slow things down a bit.
Oh. Little incidental contact out there.
These are always some of the more stressful times. You never quite know.
Oh, what a great look. Thompson with a nice look to Woodring. 72-39, Woodring with 7. Nippert, Cardington trying to put some final points on the board here with 7 seconds to go. And that will do it. 72-39. Fredericktown comes up with a big win and really in control the entire second half.
Absolutely. They never slow down once they put their foot on the gas pedal, and great way to put some cushion at the top of that KMAC standing.
Fredericktown moves to 7-0 in the conference, 8-5 rather overall, and Cardington falls to 2-4 in the conference, and a tough loss here tonight. Stay tuned for the post game. We'll give you some stats in our MVP interview, analysis, and more here on the OH Report.
He takes the Tostitos, fakes left, goes right, and dives into the salsa. Now that is how you bring home the snacks.
What is he doing?
Preparing for his next career as a commentator.
Isn't he a little young for that?
All the best players get broadcast deals these days.
Bill's Mafia is going absolutely crazy down here. Isn't that right, Billy? So true, so true. Back to you, Josh. Back to you. Now let's go down onto the field for the coin toss. Doesn't get much better than this.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
back now with our players of the game, brought to you tonight by the OH Report, and I'm joined now by Tegan Rule and Will Strebe. Tegan, I'll start off with you. A win in convincing fashion, 72-39. Tell me how you guys were able to come out and perform so well, especially on this road performance against them, and beat them in a way that was much more convincing than the first time.
The first time, I mean, they came out hot and they hit threes, so we had to come out and we were determined to lock them down and play good defense and not let them get the good looks that they got the first time, and come out hot on offense too, and we just had all cylinders clicking today.
Just kind of give me an idea. Your speed, your agility to get to the hoop is so explosive. What do you work on in your game, like throughout the week during practice, to just focus on those quick bursts of speed and being able to slide past the defenders so easily?
I mean, just post moves and just being able to get past them. We practiced a lot of different post defensively, like how they guarded us. We just practiced on moves to get past those and get to the rim.
I'll have you pass it off to Will for a quick question. Will, you could feel the excitement even here on the road. Obviously, the Freddies fans travel so well. Huge three for you tonight, and the whole place just erupted. Kind of tell me what you were feeling out there and how it felt to knock that down.
What I was feeling out there, after that first JV game, I didn't do a whole lot, so I was just hoping to get in here and just do as much as I could and get a basket.
What's the best part about being a part of this year's team, who obviously after that win over Centerburg just moved into first place in the KMAC?
Best part about being that team is the experience, getting to go through the practice to prepare for those games, then just to see the great results at the end.
And then, as we always do on the OH Report, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to tonight, Will?
Shout out to our coach in the Fredericktown Freddies.
Then Tegan, I'll ask you the same thing. Anyone you want to give a shout out to tonight?
All the Fredericktown Freddies that come out and support the family. Go Freddies.
All right, well, good job again tonight. Our OH Report players of the game, Tegan Rule and Will Strebe, who you can feel a little bit better too. You now have a 2-game cushion at number 1, as Northmore obviously knocked off Centerburg tonight. So good luck the rest of the way in the KMAC and the postseason.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take one final break. Be right back here to wrap things up with our stats and analysis on the OH Report.
He takes the Tostitos, fakes left, goes right, and dives into the salsa. Now that is how you bring home the snacks.
What is he doing?
Preparing for his next career as a commentator.
Isn't he a little young for that?
All the best players get broadcast deals these days.
Bill's Mafia is going absolutely crazy down here. Isn't that right, Billy? So true, so true. Back to you, Josh. Back to you. Now let's go down onto the field for the coin toss. Doesn't get much better than this.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Tonight's live stream of Fredericktown at Cardington was brought to you by these wonderful sponsors that brought you the action live and free. Ohiomeansjobs of Morrow County. Need a current job list, help with your resume, or practice interviewing? Morrow County Ohiomeansjobs provides many services that can assist you. Stop in or give them a call at 419-946-8480. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community. And Frito Lay, we are driven and inspired by our purpose, food that matters for life's moments. Thank you to the wonderful sponsors that brought you this broadcast tonight, live and free. We'll be right back in just a few seconds to finish up our final stats. Back here to wrap things up with our OH Report post-game show, brought to you tonight by Ohiomeansjobs of Morrow County. And what a performance tonight from Fredericktown. Really a separation from that first time out when they played Cardington.
Dominant performance tonight by the Freddies, and you heard it from Tegan Rule and Will Strobel. They were talking about it, right? They wanted to separate themselves from Centerburg and from Cardington and from the rest of the KMAC, and you see they did it. They were efficient, particularly in the second half, and in that third quarter they were really efficient. You know, they only hit 6 threes, so you're talking about a lot of interior baskets, dominated on the boards. Only 10 turnovers, so a pretty good performance if you're the coach. You're Coach Dibling saying, hey, we won the rebound battle, we won the turnover battle, we were physical, so that's what that fouls shows you, right? And especially in the first half, they set the tone. By being strong, and then they got to the free throw line and they finished. They were 12 of 13 at the stripe, and they did so with Kaid Carpenter having a bit of a down night offensively. So when you throw that in there, you think, oh man, Kaid Carpenter had a down night and we still scored 72 points and held Cardington to 39. That's a pretty great performance tonight for the Freddies.
Absolutely, and coming up next for them will be another KMAC game against East Knox on January 13th at 7:30. Coming up next for Cardington, January 14th against the struggling Crestline team at 7:30. So a couple winnable games, I think you could say, for both these teams.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for Cardington to get right. You know, Coach Rice is going to go in there and he's going to go into the lab, if you will, and he's going to watch film with his guys. He's going to say, hey, here's some things that we did that we can build on. Here's some things that we have to fix. And that's going to happen, and I'm sure he'll get his guys going. Like we said, fourth year, fourth different coach, and Coach Rice, you have to undo some things sometimes. It's not that those coaches weren't doing good things, but sometimes you have to undo things that were, systems and terminology and a style of play and a culture, and it takes you a long time to get that in order. And so Coach Rice, I think he's going to get it going. You could tell he was frustrated, but he still stayed positive with his guys, and I think, I'm hoping in the locker room he gave him a, hey, let's just flush that one down the toilet. Like, it happens. We got it handed to us tonight by a better team. Let's go and look forward to our next game against Crestline, and obviously if you're Fredericktown, you're going to go and play East Knox, who's struggling this year, particularly in the conference, and you're hoping to just keep this roll going. Right, you had lost 2 or 3 coming into tonight, but you had a big win against Centerburg the other day. Now you're in the second half of the KMAC schedule, so you're thinking, hey, let's get this rolling as we head towards the postseason.
Absolutely. So, again, one final time, tonight's final score here, Fredericktown 72, Cardington 39. Would like to thank everybody that was a part of tonight's broadcast. Obviously, Brandon Wells, thank you so much. It was awesome to work with you on the play-by-play commentary tonight. Jory Hollenbeck on camera, Adam Thompson, audio and video design. Then, of course, Ohiomeansjobs of Morrow County, our scoreboard sponsor. If you see the OH report, that means that spot's open. Contact us if you're interested. So for the instant replay, Frito Lay, our commercial sponsor, Knox Community Hospital as well. And, of course, want to thank the athletic department here at Cardington-Lincoln High School. But one final time for Brandon Wells, I'm Hayden Gray saying so long, have a great night, and we'll see you on a stream near you.